I am live, apparently. I'm trying to move my stuff out of the way so it's not all showing in the camera. I moved the camera back a little bit today so you could see me, all of me. So, question for you. Are you treating yourself today like someone you love? Are you treating yourself today like someone you love? Are you treating yourself today like you are someone you love? I called this class Make Mine a Smoothie because I sort of was linking this notion of loving yourself the way you love others as creating a smooth transition that eventually becomes no transition at all between those two things. Physically, we will follow that approach as well, creating smoother breath and smoother transitions and the like. Now, I recognize that is not for everyone, and not everyone can make that happen in terms of rounding out their breath, in terms of finding a slow, steady, smooth transition from one posture to another. But that's what we're going to work on today. So we'll start sitting up nice and tall. If you need to place your sitting bones on something for a loosening of your hips, please feel free. If your knees are above your hips, you definitely want to do that. I promise you it will feel a million times better because if your hips are higher than your knees, then things soften. They're smooth. So we're going to very smoothly, instead of doing like the big breath in, pausing, and the big breath out, we're going to work to create this curve of breath at the top to start. We can break at the bottom, but we're going to curve it at the top. We're going to then add in the shoulder scrunches, and then we'll work to smooth the whole breath at the top and the bottom. So first, just to represent, we're going to breathe in fully and stop at the top. And then we're going to breathe out fully through the nose, stopping at the bottom. Now, what if you attempt to round out the top? So the breathing in and the breathing out are very smoothly linked. Breathing in and out. Pause. Do it again. Pause. Nice. We'll add the shoulder movement into that. Shoulders up and squeezing up while you breathe in. Round the shoulders with the breath toward the back and bring them down. Next, at the bottom, try and round out the breath and keep going. Round and back. Round and in. Good, a natural breath now. You're going to work something very similar, and we're going to use the shifting of the torso to the right, forward, to the left, and back. We're going to keep that in a smooth move. And at whatever point you need to breathe in, which ideally is the back and around, and you breathe out and breathe in. Pause and go the other way. Inhale. Round out the breath. Exhale. This time we send the hands out, Breathing in to the center, breathing out past the knees. Rounding out this breath. Stay on the left side this time. Breathing in. Round it out, breathe out. Maybe your hands come farther to the left. We inhale through center, smooth out the edges, exhale to the other side. And again, your rounded breath. Maybe hands move farther away from you. Inhale to center and rise up. Big breath in and out through the mouth. And in. Exhale. And in without stopping to exhale. Sweet, nice little warm up, finding a smoothness in our breath and in our transitions. We'll bring both hands to the ground and press the fingertips to the earth, lifting from the top of the pelvis all the way to the breastbone and then all the way to the collarbones. A smooth sweep of the left hand up, straight up, but it's by the ear, the triceps. We breathe in tall, breathe out, tilt. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, soften. Inhale, heart lifts, sitting bones to the earth. Exhale, soften. Maybe the right elbow bends. We turn on a breath out and look toward the right with our left arm straight toward the right. Inhale, windmill, both arms up overhead. And exhale, hands come down, right hand to the left thigh and left hand behind you. Breathe in tall and twist. In tall, twist, round out that breath. Lift the arm behind you, breathing in. Continue to breathe in as the arm lifts overhead, the torso turns. And the left hand comes outside the right thigh, and we fold. You can take a little teeny rounding in your upper back and drop your head. Imagine now you have a ragdoll shape with your arms. You rise up and let the forearms and the biceps frame your face. Bring the elbows more apart and hook your fingers. And then bring the hands behind the head, but don't touch the head with your hands. See if you can lift your chin. If that's not possible, maybe you interlace the fingers instead. And lift your chin a little bit. Palms are not touching the sky. Both arms high, left hand down, and exhale a tilt to the left. Inhale, get long, heart rises. Exhale, tilt. Maybe the left hand moves away from you. As you next exhale, face your torso or your chest toward the left, reaching the right arm by your ear, and drop the left hand. We're going to sweep around to the other side, twisting to the right. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist. Lower the shoulders, soften the knees, soften the breath, round out the breath and the movement. Right arm lifts behind you, straight out of your shoulder. And then as your torso turns front, you send the arm toward the sky. You should feel that in your shoulder. And then the right arm crosses the left. Hinge at your hips. Round your shoulders slightly, drop your head, breathe. Rise up to your seat, bring the soles of the feet to the mat, nice and wide. You might make more space between the heels and the sitting bones. You can come to rest, not lean, on your hands with your fingers pointing toward your bottom. Knees touch. Pause here for a moment just to feel the feels. Rounding out the breath. And now we'll find a nice smooth move. Knees to one side, seeing if you can keep the sitting bones on the ground. And then smooth move to the other side. Your knees do not have to touch the ground. We'll come back with our knees straight up. Bring the soles of the feet together and drop the knees out to the sides. Trying my smooth move of removing my outer layer. It's not very smooth. Let's go ahead and take the right heel underneath the left thigh, right near the glutes, and lift the left knee. If you like, you can take the left ankle over the right thigh. We're going to take another twist. Arm behind you is not a kickstand. It's just a guide. And for our smooth move, we take the hands to the right side of the body, so the opposite of where you were twisting, without moving your feet from their spots. They might have to turn, but you won't step the feet in any other way. You're going to lean onto the right knee, bring your bottom off the ground, walk the hands all the way around the other side of the mat, and come back down. And you should be ready to twist the other way. There's your real smooth move. Torso comes forward, right leg swings around behind you. Stretch the leg nice and long, and go ahead and press into the hands, coming into a plank. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Nose, chin, chest if possible. Stretch right out. Arms in a cactus shape. Left ear to the mat. Maybe a little wiggle waggle of your bottom feels good. Stretch the left arm straight out to the left. See if you can get your triceps onto the ground. And take the right hand, place it on the mat flat underneath your right shoulder, just outside your chest. Go ahead and press into the right hand, roll onto the left side. Zip up your legs for a moment. You might drop your head if you can reach or place something underneath it. Now, if you feel steady here, you might remain. You could bring the right hand out to the right. You could also scoot it in front of you. You could also find your way to a half bind. If you like a little extra challenge, so this is a shoulder and a pec opening. You could go ahead and lift the right leg to the sky. Maybe take some ankle circles, both directions. And you can always bend that knee, opening up the hips, and drop the right foot behind the left leg. And here is a great place to work a half bind. Working the breath smoothly. The right hand returns to the mat. If it's off, the right leg will lift. You'll scissor your legs closed and roll onto the front body, turning the head so the right ear is on the ground. Both arms return to a cactus shape. Maybe open the space between your feet a little bit more and bend your knees, smoothly moving the legs left and right. Feet come down, legs zip up like a tree trunk. This time the right arm stretches straight out to the right from the shoulder. Left hand on the mat under your left shoulder. Push into that hand and you know the drill. Rolling onto the side, maybe dropping the head, perhaps extending the arm forward or to the side. And the more challenge you'd like, you might raise that left leg, ankle circles, and eventually bend the knee, opening up the hips to draw the left foot behind the right calf, which is the perfect placement to find your half bind. Keeping the breath round at the top and the bottom. We'll slowly transition to the front body on the mat. Hands under your chest, maybe feet a little bit wide. Heart forward and up, elbows squeeze in, a little baby cobra. Shoulders away from the ears, come back down to the mat. Draw the navel up. Heart forward, press back into a baby cobra or something deeper. And this time we'll move into a sphinx. Forearms down to the mat, elbows under the shoulders. Imagine you're drawing the mat back. As the navel lifts, the heart moves forward like it's moving between the thumbs, and we find our sphinx. Maybe a little turn of the head to one side and then the other. Feet can be wide if your low back will not be ignored, and your forehead can come to the ground. Hands back under your shoulders, elbows toward the sky. Press into your child's pose. Knees nice and wide. Big toes touch. Arms long in front. Head on something. The ground, a pillow, a blanket. You can stack your hands for your head. However, you won't get as much stretch from the hips to the fingers. So you might lift the fingertips, lift the heels of the hands and the elbows off the ground. Send a nice long spine so that the sitting bones move toward the heels. And then maybe crawl the fingers forward just a teeny tiny bit and bring the head and the forearms back to the mat.
Find the breath nice and rounded, nice and smooth, top to bottom. What's going on in your head? Are you treating yourself as if you are someone you love? We're going to sweep the arms out to the side and walk them away from us. Pause. You might find a little more opening in the low back here. And then go ahead, place the backs of the arms on your low back, and then you can hook your fingers or interlace them. If it feels okay, you might stretch the elbows and lift the knuckles a little bit. Less chance of injury doing this in our child's pose, but maybe later we'll do it from standing. We'll see what flows from the flow, as it were. I like to bring my palms to my low back and give a little back massage. Arms reach forward again. They're not fully straightened, and we find our way upward to kneeling to a tabletop. Nice, smooth, and slow transition. We're going to send the sitting bones toward the heels. Flip the palms over so the backs of the hands are on the ground, the toes, the fingers of the hands pointing toward the knees. Then we're going to lean a little forward or maybe rock to open up the outer wrists. Check that the outer wrists are not side to side, but more front and front. And when you're ready, palms return to the mat, fingers out to the sides or more toward your knees, whatever works for you. Once again, really working to get this time the heels of the hands to the ground. We're going to move smoothly into the next posture, which is a bit of a challenge. So you find your tabletop. Fingers are wide, shoulder blades are wide, and the navel draws in as the pelvis moves a little bit forward. Scoot your right leg long on the mat. Keep the ball, off the mat, but the ball of the foot is on the mat. Without moving forward and backward, press into that heel. And then bring the left arm in front of you, bicep near the ear, nose is pointing down. And then keeping your hips squared, float that right leg off the mat. Something I enjoy doing, it is a big challenge, so you can always tap the fingers and the toes down to the mat for the next movement. I'm going to keep mine up, where the left arm goes to the left and the right leg goes to the right. So if your fingertips and your toes were down on the mat, it would look almost like you were a triangle with a line through the middle. Okay, so that's kind of nice. Tap down, lift up, arm and leg straight front and back. Keep the belly strong. Tap the fingers, tap the toes, float the arm and the leg again. Bend the elbow to draw the left elbow, squeezing it into the left rib cage, and then draw the right knee forward toward your nose without a lot of rounding of the spine. Extend, round out the breath, breathe out, elbow and knee. Inhale, extend, round it out, breathe out, elbow and knee. And extend, and your hand and the knee down to the mat. If you need a little respite, maybe find your forearms on the mat. Maybe take some easy cat-cows, or shifting your hips left and right, or hip circles. And we bring that challenge to the other side, tabletop. Feet as wide as the knees, knees as wide as the hips, left leg long behind you, ball of the foot on the ground. Press, press, press into the heel. Keep the foot where it is. Float the right arm straight in front, bicep by your ear. And then lift that left leg. Square up the hips, left leg to the left, right arm to the right. If you'd like to tap down left and right, do so. You can stay with the foot, the toes and the fingers on the ground or not. Lift back up again. Leg behind, arm in front. This time, right elbow bends and squeezes into your right rib cage. Left knee toward your nose. Keep your back as straight as possible. Round out, inhale, lengthen. That was rounding out the breath. Exhale, elbow, knee. Inhale, forward and back. Exhale, they bend. Inhale, forward and back. We're going to tap, lift, tap, lift, and your hands and your knee on the mat. Come back to the forearms or child's pose and find some movement that feels good for you here. Just checking out the time. The hands come back under the shoulders. This should be our last kneeling posture, at least for a while. We'll float the right leg off the mat behind us, square up the hips. Take a little look over the left shoulder and swing the right leg above the left calf until the shoelace side of the right foot is outside the mat. Then you're going to go ahead and glide the front of your right hip to the left heel. You might bring your forearms to the mat. Body's in a little bit of a curve to the left. If you need more support for your head and neck, you could always bend the elbows outward, soften into the shoulders, and one potato, two potato your hands. This is a glute opener, primarily your medius, but the maximus and sometimes the minimus get involved as well. Rounding out the breath, slowing it down. What's in your head? What's in your heart? Are you treating yourself as someone you love? When this posture feels complete, and only when it feels complete, find the body moving back into tabletop. And take, again, any movement or shape that feels good. We return to tabletop, nice and firm and steady. Left leg shoots behind you, ball of the foot on the ground to start. Lift that foot, square up the hips, take a peek over the right shoulder, swing the right leg over the left calf as far as you can get it away from the mat. Shoelace side of the foot comes onto the ground, and the front of the left hip glides toward the right heel. Just finding the space, finding the rounded breath, giving some real estate between the shoulder blades. And use the breath to soften into this posture. Find your way back to the tabletop. Go ahead and place your left foot outside your left hand. Tuck your right toes under. You don't want too big of a distance between your left heel and your right knee, front and back. We're going to cross the hands across the chest. And the intention here is to lift that back knee and step straight up. And this time we're going to bring the right foot part way back, a little left and right space, and kneel the left knee down to the ground. So we're the opposite of where we were. This side is more difficult for me because I don't often step my left foot behind. So hands cross your chest, left toes tuck under. We try and stay upright and come to standing. Sweet, 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 sweet Caroline. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hands by your sides, arms overhead. A forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Smooth, round breath, but a nice, straight, long spine. Find a couple breaths here. Tailbone back, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up to stand. Arms come overhead and we twist. Left arm forward, right arm behind. Hip bones do not need to move to the right. Inhale, forward, arms up. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, forward, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Left foot steps way back on the mat. Set yourself steady. You're welcome to drop your back knee or not, but you will eventually have to come back to the runner's lunge. Left fingertips down, right hand to your hip. Breathe, lift halfway up. Exhale, twist. Now you might drop your arm by your side, swing it forward and up to find your full twist. Keeping the breath rounded, the big toe mound of the right foot pressed into the ground. Any variation that allows you to have smooth movement, smooth breath. The hand will come to the mat. Find yourself steady to hover over your right knee. Arms reach back, palms up. Arms out in front, up to crescent warrior. Step forward, chair pose. Smooth moves. Inhale, rise up. We're going to take that sequence again. A forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Find a few breaths with your long back. Shoulders away from the ears. Crown of the head moves forward. Sitting bones move back. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot back of the mat, runner's lunge. Right hand down, left hand to your hip. Lift halfway up, maybe to your fingertips. Spin on your axis from the navel, and then perhaps the left arm drops, sweeps in front, and lifts up overhead. Set yourself up to hover. Arms in front. Use the belly and the feet. Rise up, crescent warrior. Beautiful. This time we'll step into chair pose. Maybe arms come to cactus or to your hands to your heart. Rise up to the balls of the feet. Squeeze the thighs toward one another like they're spinning inward. Sink down, keep your heels lifted, and bring your heels down, stay low. Rise back up, balls of the feet. Sink down, stay low, heels drop down. Bring your hands to your hips, rise up. Step the left foot way to the back of the mat and spin to the long edge of your mat. Back foot now parallel to the back of the mat. Come to the heel of the right foot and pivot it so the toes face the front of your mat. So you're wide enough for warrior two. And now you can test it out by bending into the front knee. Adjust as need be. If you look down, you shouldn't see more than 2 of your right toes. Arms come out in a T, gaze is over the middle of the front hand. Now we're going to work our smooth moves with smooth breath because we're going to dance this warrior. So lots of energy into the outside edge of the back foot. Right glutes might feel a little bit more active than the left, so you might activate your left quads. Flip your front palm and reverse. Don't forget to bend in your front knee. Warrior two to side angle. Smooth breath, rise, warrior two and reverse. Side angle. And this time you take it on your own twice. When you come back to your warrior two, bring your hands to your hips and straighten your right leg. Dial your left toes toward the front left corner of your mat. So your back foot. Front leg is straight, your right leg is straight, arms in a T. We're going to shift forward as far as we can till we can't without popping the bum back and the chest forward. That might mean your Trikonasana will be a little bit higher than it might otherwise be. You're welcome to have a block. Dropping the right hand inside the knee, the calf, or the ankle. Left arm lifts high. And we find this beautiful plane of human. Ooh, and a nice little set of pops in my spine. Round out the breath. What are the thoughts in your mind or the committee in your head saying and doing? Are you loving yourself as you love others today? Rise back, bend front knee, arms in a T, hands to your hips, unbend your front knee, and pivot both sets of toes toward the long edge of the mat. Lift up the ball of the left foot and point the left toes toward the back of the mat. Bend your left knee. Energy in both feet. Look down at your left toes. You should see 1 or 2. Squeeze those right glutes. Arms in a T. Gaze over the left hand. This time I'll bring you into the dancing warrior, and you'll take it on your own 6 times. Smooth breath, smooth moves. And after your last time, you come back with arms in a T. The left leg straightens out. Maybe heel toe the right leg closer to the left heel, but dial the toes of the right foot toward the back, the right corner of your mat. Stay in a straight line as much as possible. Reach forward with your left arm until you can't reach any farther. Drop your left hand, Trikonasana, triangle pose, any variation you like. We'll move into lizard pose. So you may face your eyeballs down toward your left foot. Come to the ball of the back foot, bend your front knee, and bring your hands inside your left foot. You might leave your right knee up. You might make more space. Left foot moves out to the left, and you might draw forward. Maybe arms on a block. Maybe not. Your toes can point a little to the right, but you want to peel open the left, peel open that left foot so you're on the outer edge. Think about this as your pelvis moving forward rather than down, and making some space for the opening of the left hip and thigh. Rounding the breath. Hands come back under the shoulders. Left foot comes back to the mat. We can make a smooth move, spinning all the way to the right to find our lizard pose on the other side. If your palms are not on the mat, place them under your shoulders. Draw your right foot back, come into table, crawl forward, cross your legs, roll over them, and set yourself up for a little bridge. Our final back bend, you can do a supported bridge if that feels best. You can do no bridge at all and simply squeeze the shoulder blades together underneath you and shift the pelvis toward the sky. That might be enough. Or you can do all of that, send the knees forward, and float the hips and buttocks off the mat. Keep pointing the tailbone up, 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 up. Pressing into all the parts of both feet, smooth out the breath. Take any variations you might desire. Just like in chair pose, the thighs are rolling toward each other. The knees should not be more open than the width of your hips. And when you're ready, come out of this posture. Spread your feet a little wide. Arms out in a T. Drop the knees to the right and maybe the nose to the left. If you'd like to go a little deeper in your twist, the outer part of the right ankle comes to the top or above the left knee and outside of it. Great place to continue to slow and round the breath. Unravel from this, feet wide. Hips might shift right as you drop the knees to the left and the knees to the right. Going deeper if that's part of your practice. Knees draw to the sky. We straighten out the spine, and then your choice. Virtual legs up the wall. Maybe you squeeze the knees in and take knee circles. Maybe you find happy baby. That's your last posture before a very brief shavasana. Smooth move, smooth breath. Love for yourself that matches how you love others. All right, for shavasana, Find a posture we'll be in for about a minute. If possible, arms not touching the sides, legs and feet apart, palms facing up. Big breath in and out. Deepen your breath, gather the knees in, find a little rock left and right, and then forward and backward to find your seat. Just have a couple minutes left to find our long spine. Consider how you would like to live, how you aspire to live when you get off your mat at this in the next couple moments. I know the Buddhist teachings teach us to be in the present. Sometimes it's nice to ensure we envision how the present affects the next moment and the next moment and the next. Palms together at your heart. Thumb knuckles to your forehead. May you love yourself each moment as you love others. We bow together. Namaste. Om Shanti Shanti. It was great to practice with you, even though you can see me and I can't see you. But it's been fun. I hope you enjoyed Make Mine a Smoothie. And maybe we'll all be inspired and go turn our blenders or our whatever's on and actually make the smoothies that are delicious to drink. Have a great rest of day, evening, week, whatever it might be. And hopefully I will see you again soon.